Welcome back to the Browser Wars. Okay, we've had a brief introductory look at the main competitors. We've now run them through some tests. We've see how well they play YouTube. So I think it's time to have a more detailed look at each of the main browsers on Haiku. And just see where are the settings, what can you do with it in terms of using it on a daily basis. So these episodes will be fairly short, I think, but let's just do it. So the first we're going to do is WebPositive, which is our own baby. And I belong to the school that says use native apps wherever possible. Because being native, they use libraries and routines that are already in the system. They're going to flash on the screen and not take 10 seconds to load foreign libraries. Right, and apart from that, it's ours. So I use WebPositive wherever I can. First thing, let's see if it has any command line parameters. And no, it doesn't. It thinks that I'm trying to load a web page called help. Not very helpful. Sorry, WebPositive. So the only thing you can do from the command line is to say which website you want to load. Alright, so WebPositive, let's just see if we can resize that a little. Let me just remove myself from the scene temporarily. There. So we got window, right? And new window does exactly what you think it would do. It creates a new window. Strangely enough, you can also open up a new tab. Okay, that's pretty standard stuff. Nothing unusual about it. But now let's right click on this and say open link in new window. So you expect that it'll open a new window and load the link in there. It does not. It opens a new tab. So that's a bit of an idiosyncrasy that you'll have to get used to. Right, the tabs act like you would expect them to. This is a local file. This is an online file. Right, so you got history and okay, nothing embarrassing there. Good. And you got bookmarks. So let's say I want to make a bookmark of this. There actually is one already. I say bookmark this page, and at this stage it does not give me an option to say and put it in there. The bookmark I just created is just with the general set of bookmarks. But I can manage bookmarks, and I can say drag this thing now and put it there. And if we look at bookmarks documentation, there it is. So these bookmarks are not a XML or JSON file that you have to drag in. They are in fact 0-byte files, and all the information is stored in extended attributes, which is the Haiku way. Okay, we looked at history. You can clear history as well. Right, reload, option R. Okay, that's normal. You can hide or show the bookmark bar. And for some reason it doesn't want to bring it back. I could hide it, but I can't. Right, increase size, decrease size does more or less what you would expect it to. There we go. Right, sometimes a website will have some instructions on it. Do not allow the user to change the size. Right, then zoom text only. Right, so that sort of says increase the size of the text but leave the graphics the size they are. That's unusual. In full screen, you can look at the source, HTML. Right, then you've got your usual cut, copy, paste. You got find, which gives you a form to fill in. Let's look for release. Right, next, 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 next. Previous, previous, previous. And you can even match the case there, upper or lower. Right, what else can I tell you about it? Open location, which gives you, well, it just sort of puts your cursor in this location bar. Right, close window, close tab. You can save the page as an HTML file. That's not as useful as it used to be, because nowadays you save it and it's just a container for a ton of CSS scripts which don't get saved along with it. There is a download windows. Right, so when you download something, you can remove these because they're finished. You can remove all of them that are finished. All right, settings, we'll have a look at that now. Cookie manager, and the cookie jar is empty. That's good. A script console, I haven't really used that myself. It's more for the developers, really. And about box. So rather unusually, WebPositive doesn't have a separate help here. The About box is here on the Windows menu item. Okay, let's have a look at the settings. Right, got General. You can set your start page. your search engine. That's a reasonable selection, I think. Right, startup. You can resume the prior session or start a new session. Right. New windows, open start page. New tabs, open blank page. That's the way I've generally set mine up. Download folder. If you've watched some of my other videos, I generally create a downloads folder or directory on the desktop, and then I set that in the browser. Show tabs if only one page is open. I know some people don't like that. I do actually. And some other settings there that you can change. Then fonts. These should be the same as your system fonts. However, you can see here they're set to 14 points rather than 12, so it's slightly bigger. And WebPositive therefore has its own font selection. Keep that in mind if it looks slightly different than your other programs. Right, proxy server. Well, if you're using Haiku behind a company firewall, I suppose you're going to need that. Yeah, but if you're just using it on a home computer and you just connect to your Wi-Fi router, then you probably won't. Okay, so that is WebPositive, a worthy competent. Still has some things it can't do very well. In my experience, it can download even from SourceForge, which uses a redirection of a redirection of a redirection of, right? It'll download. After the third download, you may need to restart WebPositive. Something is then not quite right. You know, if you're downloading a lot of files from the same source, then some things won't work quite as well as one would hope. Let's just start that up again and see if we can show bookmarks bar. Why can I not show it? See, for some reason I could hide the bookmark bar, but I cannot get it back, which is not the way things should be. There is probably a file that you can config settings. Let's see. Here, WebPositive. Now there's one of these files, probably if you delete it, then things will reset to the default condition. Let's have a look at this. Okay, a very binary sort of file. Let's just close this and move this to trash. and restart the program. No, it's not that one. Okay, so until there's a fix on the way, if your bookmark bar is showing, just leave it, because it looks like we found a bug. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll continue this with the other major browsers available on Haiku.